How did Selena Gomez alchemize her trauma by turning self love into a billion-dollar brand? Selena is all about alchemizing negative energy into beautiful blessings, transmuting bad vibes from her haters into her own personal wins, and turning self love into her own undeniably successful billion-dollar brand. Here are some of the ways she did it. This is a deep dive into the multiple avenues Selena took to reach billionaire status using self love as her driving force. First, she turned heartbreak into healing. If we're only focused on Selena's music career to start things out, it's a fact that she turned some of her most heartbreaking moments into relatable and legendary music that her fans still listen to this day. Selena is no longer heartbroken since she's now married to Benny Blanco, but there were multiple years of her life that she admitted she was emotionally struggling due to the heartbreak of her past relationship with Justin Bieber. Instead of hiding after their breakup, she made vulnerability her superpower. The most notable heartbreak anthem of all was Lose You to Love Me, which became her first Billboard #1 song and the anthem that fully defines what it means to embody self-love and self-worth. The lyrics are scathing, but they are exactly what Selena needed to put out in order to jumpstart her healing process. She said, "In 2 months you replaced us, like it was easy, made me think I deserved it. In the thick of healing, we'd always go into it blindly. I needed to lose you to find me. The dancing was killing me softly. I needed to hate you to love me." As of this video publication, her song has accumulated more than 1.4 billion streams on Spotify, and it still pulls in more than 300,000 daily streams right now. Although the exact dollar amount of earnings from Lose You to Love Me has never been made public, it's estimated that the song has generated millions of dollars through streaming, digital sales, and performance royalties. This song alone has contributed to Selena's billion-dollar empire. And this is just one song out of many that Selena has gone into the studio to record as her way of healing from heartbreak. Secondly, Selena founded Rare Beauty as a brand with a deep and meaningful message. It was never designed for just selling makeup. Selena has made it abundantly clear that she's not here to sell perfection. She's here to embrace self-acceptance. Her brand slogan says, "You are rare." And it has flipped the toxic standards of the beauty industry on its head. Rare Beauty is filled with vegan and cruelty-free products, including liquid blush, liquid contour, mascara, fragrances, and more. It has been heavily compared to other celebrity beauty brands like Kylie Cosmetics by Kylie Jenner, Fenty Beauty by Rihanna, and even Rhode Skin by Hailey Bieber. But Rare Beauty stands alone for being special in its own right. That's because Selena doesn't want to sell makeup that hides people's faces and flaws. She's all about selling makeup that accentuates your natural beauty without hiding who you are. For this reason, Rare Beauty is a huge financial factor towards Selena's billionaire status. It was estimated to pull in about $350 million in net sales in 2023, and it was valued at $2 billion as of 2024. The rapid growth of this brand and its widespread popularity isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Another reason Selena was able to build her billion-dollar brand on the basis of self-love is that she's opened up about her mental health journey with vulnerability over the years. From sharing personal details about her struggles with anxiety, depression, and bipolar disorder, to admitting that she's checked into mental health facilities in the past, her fans have come to the realization that she's an incredibly relatable human being. The fact that she is so human is what makes fans connect with her so much. Other celebs present a polished and perfectly fake version of themselves in the world, but Selena doesn't do that. Because of this, fans actually want to invest in Selena's products and pay for any items that she specifically puts out on the market. Whether that's a book, a meet and greet, an album release, a new movie, a brand collaboration, or anything else. Celebs who come across as super out of touch with reality will struggle to garner as much loyalty as someone like Selena. She's proven that being honest about her mental health instead of bottling it all up inside is a beautiful way to put self-love into practice. And as a result, she's financially profited because of it. Selena also made self-love the basis of her billion-dollar brand by incorporating philanthropy as part of her business model. For Selena, part of practicing self-love is being a philanthropist. In other words, it feels good to do good for others. Her Rare Beauty brand donates 1% of all sales to the Rare Impact Fund to expand mental health services. For more clarity, her brand is literally profiting from purpose, and that purpose is a beautiful one. She's helping change people's lives when it comes to their mental health journeys. This is something just about anyone who's ever donated money can relate to. It usually always feels better to be the person who's giving than the person receiving. One of the quickest ways to raise your vibration and start embracing a true sense of self-love is by being a generous person who's willing to give to others in need. This form of self love is something Selena has mastered, and it has only brought more success to Rare Beauty, which has in turn created more of a profit toward her billion-dollar brand. On top of that, Selena served as an executive producer on the show 13 Reasons Why to shed more light on mental health topics such as recovering from bullying, healing from depression, and building self love in difficult environments. 13 Reasons Why got a lot of negative feedback and tons of complaints for being so edgy and controversial. But at the end of the day, Selena decided to be an executive producer on the show for a reason. She knew that the topics were worthy of exploring and diving into, even though they were uncomfortable. She felt it was necessary to bring attention to some of the most disturbing, unfortunate, and uncomfortable things that teenagers go through in this modern era, instead of sweeping it all under the rug and pretending that these topics don't matter at all. Selena's willingness to produce a show like 13 Reasons Why is another reason she was willing to put self love into practice in a creative sense. Producing that show might have resulted in quite a bit of criticism, but she still prioritized the importance of spreading that show's message. Since Netflix doesn't release financial data for its show series, the total earning amount that 13 Reasons Why earned on the streaming platform has never been released. However, it's safe to assume that this show successfully thickened Selena's pockets and added to her billionaire status, since the show was super successful based on its performance and viewership. Season 1 of the show pulled in 476 million watch hours, which is definitely a success if you ask us. Another way Selena's self love has added to her bank account comes down to the shows and movies she chooses to star in. She chooses acting projects that are in alignment with her soul and spirit these days, like Only Murder in the Building, for example. It's marketed as a quirky comedy mystery, but there's so much more to it than that. It's packed with deeper emotional themes that align perfectly with Selena Gomez's self love and personal growth narrative. For starters, it's a metaphor for finding your voice, literally and emotionally. Each main character starts off lost, isolated, and insecure in their own way. Selena Gomez plays Mabel, who's trying to rebuild her identity after trauma and betrayal. Charles is played by Steve Martin, and he feels irrelevant and forgotten. Oliver is played by Martin Short, and he is desperate to prove that he is still creatively valuable. Their podcast becomes a symbol of rediscovering self-expression, proof that your voice matters at any age, even when the world has stopped listening to you. It teaches that healing doesn't happen alone. The entire show revolves around connection. At first, the trio are strangers bound by coincidence, but solving mysteries becomes therapy for them. It subtly mirrors the process of emotional healing. You start isolated, but healing requires vulnerability and community. It normalizes imperfection and awkward growth. The characters are deeply flawed, anxious, impulsive, egotistical, and sometimes emotionally shut down. But instead of being punished for their flaws, the show rewards them for their honesty, humility, and willingness to grow. And that's why viewers can relate. It's a gentle reminder that progress is better than perfection. It explores the art of trusting again. Mabel's character arc, especially in seasons 1 and 2, is about learning to trust others after being hurt, not just romantically, but socially and emotionally. She starts off defensive and distant, and then gradually starts letting people in again. And that's a core self-love lesson. Your softness is not weakness. It is the key to human connection. Mabel's emotional tone is quiet but firm, observant but strong, and that parallels Selena's real-world persona. Her character doesn't try to outshine the older men she's around. She holds her own through calm confidence, self-love, and self-respect. It's a subtle statement that confidence doesn't need to be loud to be powerful. It's about reinventing yourself at any age. Each season introduces new beginnings for all three leads, proof that reinvention isn't just a Gen Z concept. For Selena's audience, it reinforces that it's never too late to change your path, start something new and creative, or rewrite your story. It pokes fun at performative authenticity, especially online. The podcast world in the show mirrors social media culture. Everyone's chasing clout, fame, or validation. But Mabel's quiet truth-telling is what wins people over more than anyone's theatrics. If you're curious to know just how much Only Murders in the Building has impacted Selena's billionaire status, she reportedly earns $6 million per season, and the show is currently on its 5th season. If you do the math on that, it comes out to about $30 million since episode 1 of the show premiered. Another role Selena felt aligned with was a Spanish-speaking film called Emilia Perez. Some critics slammed her for her performance in the movie, but others praised her for leaving her comfort zone and taking on a role in Spanish, even though she admitted that she hasn't been fluent in Spanish since her childhood. She defended herself from the haters, saying she, quote, did the best she could with the time she was given. Ultimately, whether critics approve of the role or not, it's something Selena personally felt aligned with, and the role added to her billionaire status nonetheless. The exact amount she earned for her role in Emilia Perez hasn't been publicly disclosed, but it's estimated that she received somewhere around $5 million for her part in the film. Putting self love into practice has been a huge marker towards Selena's financial prosperity, and that's also relevant when it comes to her brand deals and collaborations. If Selena wasn't bubbling over with self love to the degree that she is, would many of these brands even give her the time of day? Like most celebrities, Selena has had plenty of brand deals with some of the biggest names in the world. One of the earliest brands to jump on the Selena bandwagon was Louis Vuitton. She was part of their campaign back in 2016, which helped catapult their sales. Selena has also teamed up with Puma to create a line of athleisure clothes and shoes. Selena has always had a huge following of fans on Instagram, which is one of the reasons why brands are willing to throw themselves at her. They know her fan base will spend any amount of money to support her. Every brand and collaboration is different, which means every dollar amount she's earned has fluctuated and varied based on who she chooses to work with. But Selena also makes sponsored posts on her Instagram page, and it's been reported that companies are willing to spend nearly $2 million just for her to make one post representing them. Talk about having the world wrapped around your finger. Selena is the embodiment of warm, welcoming, and high vibrational self love, and that's the reason she's gained access to so many awesome brand deals and collaborations. All of these reasons put together are why she has reached billion-dollar status on the basis of self love. It turns out putting self love into practice really makes a difference, and Selena Gomez proves it.